One of the things I made a point to do when I came to Home Gym Con was pay attention to what the attendees were looking forward to seeing. When you heard people come in, a lot of people had a list of 2 or 3 or 4 things that they were really looking forward to see. And very near the top of the list is this. Hey everybody, Tim, head nerd at GymCrafter.com, where we help people like you build great home gyms that you not only love, but that you actually use. And I'm here with another edition of Late Night at Home Gym Con, and I've got something special for you. Like I said in the intro, there's very few products that multiple people come in looking to see, and a lot of folks headed in the door and headed straight to this. This is Fringe Sport's lever arm belt squat, and I talked to the owner for a little while today so I can give you some information on that, because I know there's a lot of questions and a lot of people saying, why would you want to build something like that? What makes yours different than others? Because you're seeing a lot of these pop up. So let's take a close look at this, because I think it's a really cool rack attached belt squat. I really enjoyed it, and there was a crowd around this all day. So let's take a look at this. Now, first of all, why a belt squat? Now, the first answer that a lot of people come up with is that squatting with a heavy bar on your back is going to compress your spine, and over time it's going to do a lot of damage. And when you use a belt squat, you take all of the load off of your spine. It's like buying a good high-end backpack, where when it's fit right and you have the waist strap that sits on your hips just like this does, it takes a lot of the load. So any of you guys out there who have done long distance hiking like I have, having a well-fit backpack that sits on your waist instead of your shoulders is going to do a lot of good. If you're familiar with the fatigue that you get from that backpack sitting on your shoulders, it's the same over time if you're barbell back squatting. Now, does this replace a barbell back squat? No. The owner talked about they really complement each other, so he still does both, but you can do a lot more leg work with this because you're taking that load off. The second reason also has to do with back health, and as you guys know from following me, I've had a history of lower back problems. So when I'm squatting or deadlifting too much, my lower back really starts talking to me, and something like this really helps take the pressure off, so that even if my back's a little bothered, and it's leg day, I don't have to skip it. I know a lot of you guys like to skip leg day, any excuse, but I'm trying to find ways not to make excuses, and this is a great way to do that. Now, why the Fringe Sport belt squat? So first of all, a lot of the belt squats, when you put the weight on, so there's 90 pounds on here, bumper plates, and a lot of the belt squats, the way that the weight works, if you put 90 pounds on, you're probably only squatting 50 or 60. With the Fringe Sport, you can move the post up and down, and if you move it to the furthest position, you're actually getting 90% of the weight. So if you put 100 pounds on here, you're actually going to be squatting 90 pounds. And that is a nice advantage. You don't have to stack a ton of extra weight on here, which is one of the knocks on a lot of the other belt squats out there. So you can really get close to the weight that's actually on here. The belt is really, really comfortable. A lot of people who use this today, and they had a squat competition, they really thought that this was comfortable. It sat well on their hips. It was well supported. All right, so let's do a quick demo of this. So first of all, this hip strap is very comfortable. It's nice and wide. It sits on your hips really well and firm. There's 3 different D-rings on either side so that you can get this closer to or further from your body depending on your size. So the way I like to do it, now if you're shorter, I'm 6'6". If you're shorter, you can leave this attached and just get into it. What I have to do is get into the belt first and then come down and clip this on and then stand up. Super comfortable. Now, a lot of lever arm belt squats, what happens is they'll pull you forward. By this being a little bit longer, what happens is the shorter they are, the more the arc is. So as it gets to the top, it's pulling you forwards. By having a longer arm like this, it's much less of an arc, so it's not pulling you forward. So as you squat, super comfortable, no pressure on the back, none whatsoever. Great work on the quads, great work on the glutes, and really just a great alternative to squats, or a great addition. Like I said, it really works well in conjunction with barbell back squats. Another nice thing that I like about this is, for you bodybuilders out there who like to do high reps, this is a lot more comfortable and a lot easier to do high reps on than a barbell back squat. You're just focusing the weight on your legs, so your whole body isn't quite so tense. And if you're trying to do 12, 15, 20 reps, which to me sounds terrible, but I know a lot of you guys do that. This allows you to rep out a bunch of reps and really get that work in and to be able to do a lot more volume in one sitting. The kickstand goes right back down, come back in, unhook, and away we go. Super comfortable. I didn't feel any pinching, nothing like digging in or anything like that. So this, I can see why this was such an anticipated item at the show. And I don't know of anybody when I was standing here who came away saying anything but positive things about this. So I'll put a link to this down below so that you guys can check it out. And yeah, so we've got the belt squat. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm Tim from GymCrafter.